What is spiritual awakening? Across cultures and throughout history, people have described profound moments of realization, times when they see the world differently, when they sense something beyond the physical. Some call it enlightenment, others describe it as coming home to their true nature. But in essence, awakening is the process of seeing beyond the illusion, breaking free from the mind's conditioning and remembering what has always been true. This documentary is your guide, a map to understanding the depths of spiritual transformation and the path to awakening. Every journey begins with a calling. Sometimes it is a whisper, a quiet feeling that something in life is missing, that there must be more. Other times it is a storm, an event so life-shattering that it forces you to question everything you thought you knew. The call to awakening is different for everyone, but it is always a moment of realization, a moment when the world as you knew it begins to change. At first, this feeling can be unsettling. You may feel distant from the people around you, as if you no longer fit into the same conversations, the same routines. The things that once brought you comfort may now seem hollow. You might begin searching for answers, drawn toward philosophy, meditation, or spiritual teachings. You are standing at a threshold, looking out into the unknown. This is the first step, the moment you recognize that life is more than it seems. As you move deeper into awakening, a powerful realization emerges. The self you have always identified with is an illusion. The name you carry, the memories, the roles you play, these are constructs, not your true essence. The ego, which once felt so real, begins to unravel. At first, this can be terrifying. The ego fights to maintain control, clinging to the old identity. You may feel lost, unsure of who you are anymore. But if you surrender to this process, you discover something profound, that beneath the mask of the ego, there is something eternal, something vast. You are not merely a collection of thoughts, experiences, or achievements. You are awareness itself, pure consciousness observing all things. This is what many call ego death, and though it feels like an ending, it is actually the beginning of true freedom. Awakening is not always light and bliss. In fact, for many, it begins with a descent into darkness. This phase is known as the dark night of the soul, a period of intense inner turmoil, confusion, and isolation. Everything that once felt familiar begins to dissolve. The beliefs you held, the identity you built, the attachments you carried, they all begin to crumble. You may feel lost, disconnected, as if you are wandering through a vast emptiness with no clear direction. But this darkness is not a punishment. It is a purification. The soul is shedding illusions, stripping away everything that is false. It is painful but necessary. It is in this darkness that you confront your fears, your wounds, and your shadows. And yet, in the depths of despair, something remarkable happens. A small light begins to emerge, not from the outside, but from within. This is the turning point, the moment when the seeker begins to awaken to their own inner light. Emerging from the darkness, the world appears transformed. It is not the world that has changed. It is your perception of it. Colors seem more vibrant, sounds feel richer, and every moment carries a deep sense of presence. This is the awakening experience, a realization that everything is interconnected, that life itself is sacred. Fear dissolves. The ego no longer controls you. Instead, there is a profound stillness, a peace beyond words. For some, this moment comes suddenly, a flash of insight that shatters illusion in an instant. For others, it is a slow unfolding like the petals of a lotus opening to the sun. Regardless of how it arrives, the truth remains the same. You are not separate from life. You never were. The illusion of separation was only ever a dream. Now you have awakened. Spiritual awakening is not a single moment. It is an ongoing way of being. Many believe that once they awaken, their struggles will vanish and life will become effortless. But awakening is not about escaping the world. It is about fully engaging with it. The true test of awakening is how you integrate this awareness into daily life. To live in alignment means to act with kindness, with presence, with purpose. This does not mean you become perfect. It does not mean you are free from challenges, but it does mean you face life differently. You move with grace instead of resistance, with understanding instead of judgment. You see the sacred in all things, in the smallest details of existence. And in this, you find a deep and lasting peace, not because the world has changed, but because you have. Spiritual awakening is not an escape. It is a return to presence, to truth, to the understanding that every moment is an invitation to awaken deeper. The world remains the same, yet everything is different. And as you walk forward, you do so with a newfound awareness, a knowing that there is no true end to this journey. There is only the endless unfolding of consciousness, the infinite dance of existence. And so the question is not if you will awaken. The question is, are you ready to see? Thank you for tuning in. If you like this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope that you join us on our next quest for enlightenment. Like always, stay curious,